Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sparkless Inspiration. How are you guys? First of all, I just want to send out a huge thank you to my Etsy people that have been getting all excited about Christmas and getting pieces for their friends and just writing me the nicest messages. Like Lindsay, you this morning, that just gave me, such a warm, happy place. And I love getting messages like that. Anybody who partakes in creative endeavors knows what I'm talking about when people show true appreciation for their work and they say nice things. That's why I'm so inspired and grateful for you guys that in most cases when anybody orders anything from me, I will spot something else I think they like and put a little surprise in there for them. I feel like I live in an Aladdin's cave with all the stuff that I create. I have dozens and dozens, probably hundreds of pieces that I just make while I'm inspired. And so I like to stick those in the packages and kind of have a nice color scheme for you. I was really excited last night. I was working with some Evil Eye earrings and sea glass. So I got really excited about that. I love sparkly things around Christmas time. So thank you guys again for your orders. And a quick message, if you want to have it received by Christmas, please order over on IG or the Etsy store by December 15th. I can pretty much guarantee it'll get there within the continental US. It's pretty good. It's usually 2 or 3 days. Things show up a little bit, so it might be more like 5 days after the 15th, but that's probably the closest I would let it go. So let's get into what is going on. There's something that stuck with my head when I woke up this morning, and it really, really inspired me and galvanized me to get in a winning position, to finish all my work, do things, where I'm delegating my time really smart so I don't feel like I'm playing catch up or stressed. And it's the power of habit. And this word just kept coming up, the power of habit. And I was like, okay, Mel, when are you the most smoothly operating? You're the most clear headed. You feel good. Utilize that time to do the tough stuff, to really navigate people's problems if they're having depression, just issues that are heavy, where you can really separate your energy, stay clear-headed and do that. When do you feel like right now is my optimal time? I feel like high noon and late evening, I absolutely love to do the videos. I feel like it's just a really fresh kind of like inspired part of the day or evening for me, all of that. So it's like, let's get things done, deep work that matters. The one thing, we all have that one thing that's pressing for us in the day when we wake up, right? Like, oh, I need to do A, B, and C. Do that one thing first. If it's to package something out to go on, if it's been weighing on your mind, do that one thing first, that email, that conversation. Because after that, everything else seems like a cakewalk. You have dry erased that mental board, close that tab, and you're ready to move on. It was just some of the things that stuck with me right when I woke up this morning, and I was like, I know we all go through at times, because I know my clients sometimes are like, I don't know why I'm on this loop. And I'm like, well, are you doing that one thing that is bothering you? Writing that paper, conversing with that difficult person, whatever it is, do that and get it done. For a lot of people, they get stressed right now about Christmas cards going out because they know now is really the time. Because what happens, I find, is people will be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, and then a week or two goes by, and then all of a sudden, boom, Christmas is on your doorstep. So if you're feeling that, just order them through Amazon or something. You don't even have to go out and get them, and just, get them in the mail. I have the nicest postman. I'm telling you guys, if you write a little message, stick it on your mailbox and go, dear sweet postal person, can you do me a huge favor and deliver these for me? They just put them in their bag, put them in their truck, and bring them to the post office for you. If they're already labeled and ready to go, that's that they do it every single time. And I found it's opened a really cool dialogue, and I've gotten to know my mailmen, and they even like put little smiley faces and say done and dusted, and they're really, really cute. So it's another, it's just another thing off your list, so you're not going crazy. So let's see what's going on for our messages right away. These are 3 of my favorites too. Nestor, I think it's Nestor. Let's try this. Nasturtium. Okay, we're trying to get that to flow. I love these. I love flowers. I love all of that. And I love that they give us the beautiful Latin phrases. So this is about and symbolizes victory and conquest. He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still. Oh, I love this so much because this kind of reminds me of, in the Roman days, like when you had all the pure nutters, like when you had Caligula and you had Nero and you had all these nut jobs. Yes, they had power and they had the cloak of state and they could make people do whatever they wanted, yet they had no self-control. They were hedonistic, power-hungry nut jobs that were pretty murderous anywho. But it's like they lived in a kind of circle of madness. And that can be created when we have power over others and not ourselves. I love to watch and observe people say at parties that like to watch others before they speak. They pause. They have this kind of grace and elegance, and they like to listen to others. They're active listeners, all of that. I love to observe that within, the social workings of that, because I feel like the people that keep their composure, they don't suffer embarrassment, they don't have problematic relationships, are people that have control over their tongue. Yes, we all have opinions, but no, we don't have to share them all, because oftentimes without thought and like a graceful pause, it can come out judgmental, prejudicial. It can become problematic, right? And I'm a Sagittarius. I want to say what is ever on my brain, and I'm like, yo, where's that filter at? Because there could be trouble. Because fire signs are sarcastic and fiery and fun, and they like to play. However, you need to read the emotional temperature of what's going on in the room. Some people are so sensitive that it's like even the slightest thing they will take personally and they'll be offended by it. So it's reading into that, right? And the inspirational message of this is, let even the humblest of flowers remind you the greatest victories you experience may be the small ones that no one else ever sees. Conquering those inner voices of self-doubt is a first step forward in your personal growth. Some of you guys, this is going to resonate very healthy messages, because guess what? Nobody can make us think a certain way about ourselves unless we give them permission. Nobody can have that inner dialogue that cheers us on and makes us feel good and reiterates our strong parts but us. We don't need validation from anybody but us. The people I really respect and admire the most are people, they really could give two flying F-balls about anything. They just do it. That's why I was like so into the Queen's Gambit. I love people that are just like, listen, this is my mission and I don't care what you think, say, or feel about me. And that is not to say we're trampling over other people on our journey or destination. People that do that, they simply live their life free of the cloak of, oh, I wonder if that's okay. I wonder if this person likes me. There's a freedom to that because we know where that person stands, right? So let's be like that and just say, if I like something, I'm going to say it. If I don't, I don't. And that's about boundaries too. And people respect that, especially in relationships, new relationships. I'm going to be doing a larger read over on the big channel about really what truly attracts another person and what truly repels. I've been doing this course of study for the last couple weeks, and I really just turned that key, and I got some really decisive, great answers from some male experts and female experts. And I definitely feel that, one of the biggest problems that happen within relationships is we try to be something that we think that other person wants, and in the end, that's where it fails, because people don't want what they perceive as this yes person just doing everything for them, because boundaries then just get laid flat. You're opening yourself up for doormat activity, all of that. And there was people that just like, they just had this spotlight on these little problems that can get big very fast in relationships if we are not really being our strongest self. So let's see what's going on with Gloxinia. I love this. This is love at first sight and proud spirit. I love the quote in this. When I saw you, I fell in love and you smiled because you knew. That's a William Shakespeare quote. And I love that. And we know that feeling when we contact with somebody, we're like, that person is of my spirit realm. That person is part of my kindred spirit journey, right? We know that. So the inspirational message that goes with this is, there are rare moments in life when you meet someone and you know in an instant that this person will be important to you for a long time. People come into our lives to teach us lessons we are ready to learn. So some stay for a while, some leave little footprints, and we're never the same. We remember it. I have had such touching, amazing moments in my life, and I remember everything, especially the first meeting of just kindred spirits. I remember this lovely elderly man that used to come into this place that I worked, and his granddaughter's name was Melanie, and we got in a conversation, and it ended up being about dogs, and then we ended up on the topic of German Shepherds because I love them, and he's like, you're not going to believe this, but my son got a gigantic German Shepherd, and then he moved out and left it with me, and I can't walk it. He's like, this dog will pull me over on my head, and I would go over and I would walk the dog before or after work, and I love this dog, and he had like a little forest around him, and we used to have the greatest conversations. I'd bring the door in and we'd have tea, and he was like an old world gentleman, and he owned this candy factory. And I remember one day, no kidding, I got off work, and he used to come in almost every day and have some food. And then when he left, Patsy, who is the owner, he's like, oh, Melanie, he's like, Mr. O'Hannigan, he's like, he left you his credit card and he wants you to go over next door. And I think he said something like, get a winter wardrobe. I was like, what? Come to find out, like, this man had like just bank vaults full of money, and he's like, no expense spared, just go over. He wrote a note too, and he's like, he wants you to go over after work and get a winter wardrobe. It was like cold out, and I was like, what in the world? And I remember being very humble about it and just getting a few things because it was like close to Christmas, but I was like blown away by that. And I was like, it was so wonderful because here was this sweet man, and he had this dog that he loved, and he couldn't walk it. And I love great conversations with people that have experienced a really like rich texture in life. And this was one of those occasions, and I think of him to this day because he used to make me laugh so hard over like funny stories of when times were tough, and he had lived in South America and all over. So it was like just one of those things, and I feel like the universe puts people in our path for certain reasons. So let's get on to hibiscus. And a thing of beauty is a joy forever. I love this because this is saying, celebrate the beauty within you and all around you. You're going to attract happiness into your life when your message is clear to the universe. Seek joy. It's one of those things, we decide what we want to see, right? Just like Albert Einstein says, if we see the world as a beautiful, wonderful place, we experience it that way. If we see it as a threatening, joyless place, we experience it that way, right? So I try to make this little scenario in my head each day before I go out and say, I'm really excited to see this and to experience this. And I get excited about every single thing, and I incorporate my five senses. I get to drive by the beach. I get to watch the crazy geese, all that. I get excited about the little things that people might just see as background or background noise. Like, I really want to watch how these ducks behave. I really want to see what pedestrians are doing, all of that. Celebrate in the glory that is life, the fact that we have sight, the fact that we have taste and smell and touch and all of that. I love to roll down my windows when I'm by any of the beaches near me so I can smell that ocean air, all of that. This is seizing the beauty that is all around us and encompasses us and the information that's available. Feed that rich little brain of yours. Read up on something. If you see something that interests you, start Googling that bad bear and be like, why is it like that? Like, I'm so into astronomy and astrology, but it seems like there are endless streams of information on that. So every day it's like, I'll look up something a little different, like sidereal astrology, or why is this planet have these gases? What is on their surface? Just little things that you didn't know before, just for yourself. And it's fun because it will lead to another thread where you want to know other things. So that is, you guys, my beauties, because here comes the winter about to jump on everything. I'll try to get her to come on camera. Do. And then we have Citrine right over here too. So you guys, love and light to you. Thank you for all your love and support and all your beautiful messages, both here over on Etsy and IG. Come on over to IG and get in on some of the giveaways. I'm going to be posting something today or tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I just found the perfect wire to make wraparound bracelets where you do like a double stack, and you only it's like stretch wire, and you just double it over, and then it's on your wrist. It's loose. It is the perfect weight. So there is like, I like wearing jewelry you don't even feel like you're wearing because there's no pinch, tug, pull, or tightness. This is the wire, and I just made some pieces. So I'm totally stoked about it. So love and light, everybody. The links are down below. Thank you for everything.